Avengers, assemble. Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the videos we're producing, please consider liking this video, sharing it with your friend, and subscribing to the channel, as it helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and algorithms. And if you're in a position to support the channel, you can assemble with us on our Patreon with tiers starting as low as $1 a month. I want to give a special shout out to my founder and Avenger tier members, and to everyone who has been joining us. Thank you so much. It makes the holidays a little bit brighter. As you may or may not know, our YouTube is not monetized, and oftentimes, even when our previous channel was monetized, we were not able to take advantage of it due to the types of material that we post. In this case, this is something our patrons have known for a while, and it's now something we're sharing here, and that is Spider-Verse, or Spider-Man the Great Web. This was a games as a service title that Insomniac had pitched to Marvel and Sony. Marvel rejected this proposal, but it appears as though concepts within this will be morphed and adapted to become additional components for Spider-Man DLC material. And this is an online component that was initially described as Spider-Man meets Grand Theft Auto. The first screen that you see that was a part of this pitch is, of course, villain schemes. And, of course, these are plots in the city that you have to team up with other Spider-Verse heroes and attack and stop. And, of course, you see Mysterio prominently displayed. Then you have a venomized Sandman. And again, you can see 6 characters teaming up, 6 spider heroes teaming up to take him on. And these are great web raids. And these raids, of course, are very similar to what you might expect from World of Warcraft or Destiny, where you have 6 players going into a key, uniquely designed area within New York. You have the hub world, but then you go into a very specific zone to take on these challenging raids with you and 5 of your friends. And of course, here we have our heroes fighting a group of venomized agents. And yes, these turf battles would be played out with players because, yeah, players would have the option to use symbiotes. Skill challenges. These are races across the city, scavenger hunts, and the like. Again, random villains spawning, battles with the Sinister Six across the city. You never knew what you would discover around the corner. These were your archetypes. This is how the game would start up. You could choose archetypes based on Miguel O'Hara, Anya Corazon, Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker, again, Spider-Woman, and then the other, an unnamed. You would define your origin, costume, and powers, and you would build your own character outside of the classic archetypes. Here is the character creation screen when you were taken to, after choosing like an unnamed, and even your own. If you chose an archetype, you would be able to modify as well and create your own ideal version of what that character is to you. Then, of course, your origin, wrong place, wrong time, intentional experimentation, cosmic rays, and you earned your powers an accident in the lab. And all of this would affect your statistics within the game. Then, of course, you would select your loss, what happened, what was something that defined you in a personal tragedy, your traits, and then, of course, your great web and how you were connected to the others in New York. Again, here's the Sinister Six in a day scenario. Team up attacks and combos. Style range, where characters land on a range of styles, and that, of course, determines the art direction and the aesthetic of the game, which was a little in the middle, closer to detailed and realistic. These were the phases that the game would experience. 2021 and 2022 would be research and development. In 2022, pre-production would begin and last until the beginning of 2024, when it would go into full production, an alpha launch at the end of 2025, a beta in 2026, and a day 1 launch, available to all, responding to issues, monitor engagement and retention KPIs, react as necessary, evaluate data pipeline, react as necessary, build Season 1 content, and definition of done. Game is performant and ready for Season 1. Game has good player response, ready for Season 1. Data pipeline and analytics are performant, ready for Season 1. Resources are in place for Season 1. And then phases post-release. 2026 would be day one launch. Season 1 would run through the first half of 2027. Then Season 2 would be 2027. The first half of Season 3 would run through 2027 and into 2028. Season 4 would be in 2028. Season 5 would be from 2028 to 2029. Season 6 would be in 2029. Season 7 would be in 2029 and the first half of 2030. And then Season 8. And establish 2 seasons a year cadence. New seasonal content, features to be determined. 2 alternating teams producing seasons. Each team releases yearly. Each team manages their own season. You would have a fall team and a spring team. This is a really great ingenious strategy that a lot of studios miss out on, studios like Crystal Dynamics. Again, Insomniac was paying attention and they were learning. And they are learning. This is a sample roadmap. Individual themed seasons quarterly across a year. Null emerges. So issue 1. Season 1 would be January, February, March. Season 2 would be the Madness of Mysterio. Season 3 would be Lab Partners, which again, prominently featuring the Lizard. And Season 4 would be Null and Void. And this would be a Battle Pass sample, the Madness of Mysterio. You can see a current active quest, Under the Illusion, within Turf Wars. Free 25 allied heroes from Hypnotic Hold using the scientific method skill. Daily side gigs for photography, weekly skill challenges, weekly tech challenges. And again, there's time limits, how much you have until completion. The stars, which again average out the difficulty. Then you have the season 90 days of Battle Pass 2-span season. You have month 1, act 1, and continued availability, introducing new mechanics. Launch new Battle Pass, introduce the story, introduce new mechanics, introduce new characters. Villain schemes, experiences, dimensions, gadgets and abilities, player hub or location, rewards and cosmetics. Month 2, act 2, continued availability. Launch new Battle Pass, evolve story, replayable mechanics, depth of strategy. New villain scheme, 5-hour quest line, rewards and cosmetics. Month 3, act 3, cooldown and finale content. Launch new Battle Pass, wrap-up story, and tease next season. Cliffhanger, one of the following: a community event, a world event, a mission event, or challenge modes. Averaging 5 to 10 hours of new content per season. Seasons contained timed releases for players over time. Players can consume all content post-launch. Front-loading content so players can consume within a season. Here is a Battle Pass sample. Again, free seasonally themed Battle Pass track. Players earn common and some uncommon tier additions to use for their player character as they play throughout the season. Wearable accessories, gadget skins, small bundles of leveling currencies, new emotes and quips, new hairstyles. Premium paid seasonally themed Battle Pass tracks. Players pay to access additional rare and unique tier additions to use for their player character that can't be earned or bought outside of the Premium Pass. These are, of course, premium character suits, premium gadget mods, new character comic pages, premium dance moves, new podcast stations, premium bundles of leveling currencies. And again, here's art, inspirations, and environments. These are beautiful, great, wonderfully designed, very aesthetic, and very comic booky, really alive and immersive. And these were art inspirations for NPCs and background characters. What was being built here and what was being considered for this pitch is very much so more in line with Grand Theft Auto than it is with Destiny. And they have so much passion built into this. It's so driven very much so by creativity and by design, and that's what we're looking for in any kind of game as a service or multiplayer model. Now, as I said, as a standalone title, this was rejected by Sony and Marvel, but we have found evidence that Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 are taking these assets and using them as part of online multiplayer components. Now, we're still digging through leaked files, we're still accessing it, but we've already found early documents and early prototyping for Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 2 online that uses these components. So it appears, as of the recording of this video, that it is not entirely dead yet, and we have a lot to look forward to, and we still have a lot to go over. Now, as always, you can catch this first and more exclusive footage on our Patreon, stuff that we simply cannot post on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Above all else and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have a marvelous day. Bye, everyone.